The left's dominance of GovEd is what's led to ignorance of what I'm about to broach with you folks. You know, it's amusing seeing leftists who cheered President Otto Penn's government using taxpayer resources to silence free speech, saying that Jimmy Kimmel's firing is an example of a direct attack on that free speech. This fundamental misunderstanding or out-and-out intentional fabrication is why our rights are forever in danger from the American left. Kimmel boards the FAFO train. Some truth-telling is my focus in today's preamble. Kimmel was dismissed from his job for uttering this whopper.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
For that outlandish claim, easily disproven by published evidence, ABC woke Disney parted ways with the far left and unfunny late-night talk show host. Leftists across the fruited plain started lashing out the perpetually angry and cranky and venomous charlatan Keith Olbermann, who also has burned many bridges in media, folks, said, quote, "Burn in hell, Sinclair, alongside Charlie Kirk," end quote. Olbermann was reacting to the announcement that Sinclair Broadcasting would air a tribute to Charlie Kirk in Jimmy Kimmel's old time slot. The Blaze reporter Julio Rosas reported that the once avowed communist Van Jones said on CNN, quote, "This is a red line that has been crossed for our industry, for the First Amendment, for the right of people to speak. There was nothing hateful about what was said," end quote. And Jessica Tarlov at the Karl Rove Never Trump Network opined, quote, "Free speech advocates on the right have a lot of heavy lifting to do," end quote. Well, not really. I'll explain in a moment. But the first thing that jumps out at me is that these luminaries of the left all appear to be more broken up about leftists not being able to have platforms to lie, dehumanize, and disparage conservatives with, rather than being at all concerned that their side has begun political assassinations in the United States. Stephen Miller, no, not that Stephen Miller, the host of the Versus Media podcast, noted, quote, "I don't know, man. I kind of care more about Charlie Kirk losing his life than Jimmy Kimmel losing his late-night therapy show. The reaction I'm seeing out of our media proves they care about the opposite, and that's why the political right is done caring," end quote. And we are done caring about validating or finding a middle ground with the left's falsehoods, collectivism, and anti-Americanism. Let's take the left's contention that Jimmy Kimmel's firing, or any left-winger's firing, is an attack on free speech. The First Amendment to the United States Constitution reads, "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances." As is the case with the entirety of the Constitution, the First Amendment is providing guidelines and restrictions on government. Your local government, your state government, your federal government is prohibited from using taxpayer resources and government coercion to shut you up. Thankfully, ABC woke Disney is not the government. What happened between Jimmy Kimmel and ABC woke Disney is another protection Americans have in the First Amendment: the freedom of association. The Supreme Court has recognized this right as an indispensable means of preserving other First Amendment freedoms. Specifically, the court has recognized a right to associate for the purpose of engaging in speech, assembly, petition, for the redress of grievances, and the exercise of religion. In the case of ABC and Jimmy, private companies have a right to associate with unfunny, untruthful leftists, or not to. Real Americans can't confuse the role of the private sector in government. It's 100% permissible to have a person employed in a private company who's an admitted criminal. It is 100% permissible to have a person employed in a private company who hates the United States and has pledged allegiance to a foreign country. It is 100% permissible for a person to be employed in a private company who celebrates or mocks the political assassination of Charlie Kirk. Or not. Private companies can choose not to associate with those types of degenerates. However, None of those is permissible, in my opinion, in government. But the America Last crowd disagrees with me, folks. Both Republicans and Democrats, they joined together to say they think a member of Congress like Ilhan Omar, who was accused of celebrating Charlie Kirk's political assassination, she should keep all of her power in Congress, they all said. Just like both parties have taken no action against congressional Democrats who pledge allegiance to foreign countries. Just like they have taken no action against Democrats who have broken the law or against Democrats who are indicted for assaulting federal agents. Yesterday on this program, Andy Ngo said that Antifa is worried about American unity in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination. One place Antifa doesn't have to worry about? Congress. Our people are unified, but Congress is not with us. They are with themselves. Leftists who are melting down over Jimmy Kimmel's firing, they're pretty upset. Our pal ALX put on X screenshots of leftists pledging, get this, to boycott woke Disney. They are doing this after all Disney has done to sell out American families and ruin their brand in service to those very same leftists. These entitled brats on the left say that Kimmel's firing was an attack on free speech. That's absurd. Kimmel can say what he wants, but not without consequences. Some people think the left's violence isn't a good thing, and we want to distance ourselves from those leftists. And unlike the Republicans in Congress, we certainly don't want to give these violent anti-Americans power over us. Like an infectious disease, the left wing has infiltrated entertainment, sports, and government. No majority wanted them there. And now the pushback has begun. You left-wingers can no longer force yourselves and your dehumanization onto the rest of us. In America, you don't have that right.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.